Sonshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. This is Sonshine's Corner. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, and you know, I always look for something that's inspiring. And believe me, I think we all need it today. I don't know what it is. It's something that just feels heavy on me today. But the fact of it is, I think that God is always ahead of us. He lines things up the way He wants them to be lined. And there's a young lady here with me today. I know it's a blessing from God because she's going to do some things that are going to inspire me today. She is a clergy, she's a mental health expert, all that good stuff. And I gotta say, Dr. House, I thank you for this opportunity because I know that the last time,
yeah.
I mean, because we always share so many powerful things, but you got this thing coming up now. You got an event.
Yeah, well, we actually just had
that right there.
Yeah, we just had an event. But this right here is my mental health coaching services I have to offer with Beacon of Hope Champions Ministries. And so let me just say this for the record: we can go to therapists, right? And therapists are very good for problem solving.
Right.
They're very good for unpacking things that we've been through in the past.
Right.
But after you've been through your therapist, what about what you got to do moving forward? What you got to do as far as finding solutions to move forward to live mentally well, right? And so that's where I come in. I come in with the wellness recovery action plan to say, okay, what can we focus on your strengths? What are the things that you're doing well? What are the things that maybe you want to do better? And how can you continue your lifestyle being well? Because after the therapist and after the medication and after the counseling and all of that, you still have work to do on yourself.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, but I guess, oh Lord, let me sit back. When does my hour start? Hello? But no, I see on here because it is so true. We all need to talk to somebody.
We do.
And I am one that keeps a lot to myself.
Okay.
And then I explode. And when I explode, I'm telling you, everything I ever thought in my head comes back.
Right, right.
So is that healthy?
No. And the reason why it's not healthy is because your emotions are meant to be messengers. They're not meant to control you. And it's not healthy to keep those things in because, like you said, you could probably consciously put it to the back. You could probably be able to ignore it.
Right.
But that pain and those feelings in your body, they're going to have to go somewhere. So it could be in your body, it could be in your joints, it could be in your heart, it can be your internal organs, or even a situation that comes up that triggers you, that's familiar for what the reason why you start feeling some type of way then, and you explode and all of that. That's not a healthy way of processing your feelings. I know that because I had experience with that myself. As you know, I've previously been on here before, talked about my struggle with depression for 30 years. I was very emotionally reactive about a lot of things because I didn't know how to process my feelings or logically pull my feelings back and look at them and say, okay, why am I feeling like this? Rather than doing that work, I was always just lashing out, getting upset, getting up mad, just blowing up, like you say, boiling over, like a pressure cooker just going like this, pow.
That's me.
Right. But then the thing is that when you pull yourself back and say, wait a minute, why am I feeling like this? Where did this come from? Where did it trigger from? Does this person have anything to do with the situation that this reason why I'm feeling like this? A lot of times people could say something innocently, don't mean nothing about it at all, but because it reminds us of something that we've been through and it's been hurtful, then all of a sudden all that stuff rises to the surface. So the truth is, your feelings never go away. They're always there. So it's better just to deal with them while you're in that moment and say, wow, I'm feeling like this, so you can move on, move forward, so that if you see anything like that similar in the future, you won't be triggered there anymore. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. It's just so many things that, I mean, you're answering a lot of questions, and I know I tell everybody every day, you know, it's okay to talk to somebody and, you know, get a therapist to get that.
Yeah.
Okay, I think when you were talking about things, and some things that resonates deep on the inside of you, that continually cause pain.
Yeah.
I am somewhat of a perfectionist. I like to have things
in order.
I like to have things in order.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I work toward that. I mean, I can pick up the smallest thing.
Oh yeah.
When I see that it's not
In order.
in order. But then, so many other things come out, and it's like, a volcano ready to erupt.
Yes.
And I tend to walk away. So that volcano won't blow up.
Well, yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with walking away, because if anything, you're being protective of yourself and you're being protective of others around you,
Right.
for what you're dealing with. But even if you do walk away, you don't need to allow what you're feeling to linger.
Okay.
You still need to find a safe space to be able to vent.
Right.
In a healthy way. You know, if you happen to have a support circle or a child like I have, or maybe someone that is a trusted person you can talk to,
Right.
to say, look, can you just listen to me give me about a good 5-10 minutes. Let me just listen. I'm not looking for no answers. I'm not looking for no problem solving. I just need you to listen to me. And a lot of times, especially we as women,
Right.
you know, especially with us being emotional creatures, a lot of times the way that we filter things in our feeling is by talking through it. And the more we talk through it, sometimes all of a sudden we're like, you know what, wait a minute. Why am I getting upset for? What was it again? Why am I feeling like this? Wait, hold up. Where's this coming from? All of a sudden, everything you're feeling starts to come right on down, and you're able to think about things clearly without the emotions being the primary factor influencing it.
Right.
Then you can look at it and say, like, okay, so if I would have just did it this way, or maybe I should have thought about it from this perspective, or I should have thought about it from the other person's perspective, and then maybe I probably would have changed my reaction. And then at that point be like, that's what I should have done. But if you're walking away, that's a good thing, because then you can have the opportunity to process all of that and then come back and be like, okay, this is what I need to do.
Right.
I had a situation like that recently. I had to do that very thing.
Oh, really?
Because, well, yeah, and because if I would have reacted in that situation in that moment, I knew what I would have said would have been out of character for me.
That's me. I don't want to step out of character.
Right. So I knew that, okay, go home, have your crying party for a moment, then come back, and I made the phone call the next day to share with them what my feelings were. And I was able to do it in a way that was non-confrontational,
diplomatic,
and then logical. Because there's a way to express your feelings, even if they're deeply rooted, if they're like, you know, really strong. You can do it in a way that people can get it, where you're not coming at them. You just basically saying, you know what, when you did this, this is how it made me feel.
Okay.
And when you're able to communicate it that way, they were like, oh, I didn't know that's how it felt. And a lot of times, some people who are, even if they really are good-hearted people, are like, I had no idea. I didn't know.
But let's
Thank
say
you
if
for
that
sharing.
person's not that way.
Okay, if it's not that way, then you know you've had the chance to share it with them.
Okay.
So they can't say they don't have the knowledge.
Okay.
Now, do they continue to do what they want to do? That's their choice. But then that's when you got to create your boundary.
Okay. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we're having a conversation
I'm
today.
just saying, you got to create a boundary there.
I mean, like, you know, I tell you, like Dr. House, I tell you this, I have been trying to get it for the last, month?
Yes, and I'm sorry.
But that's okay. But I know that God has I believe that it's in His timing.
It is.
And I think today was His timing.
It was today. Yeah, today was a good day.
I mean, it's a good day. And we're talking about things, I mean, she is, I mean, so many leaders in this community.
Yeah.
I think they don't talk.
No.
I think that they feel that if they do talk, that's lesser of.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and when you say that you want to talk with them, and they rarely talk about the struggles that they're dealing with.
Yes.
And with the struggles and being honest about something,
Yeah.
Dr. House.
Yeah.
I think that's the first step.
Well, truth is everything. Truth is the base of any for healing, period.
Right.
If you don't admit what the issue is, how do you expect to heal from it?
Right.
It's just like when you go to the doctor's office. The reason why they run the tests and they do the exams and all those things when they're trying to find out what's going on is because they have to get to the root of the issue.
Right.
And the truth is what it is the root. The truth is something that doesn't really need any backup for what it is. Whereas facts, you need to have data to back those things
Exactly.
up. Whereas truth is just what it is, you know, just, you know, a matter of fact. And so when you can be honest and say, and this is what I was talking about in this event I did this past weekend, with the Ecclesia Mental Health Summit for Clergy, and that was, I decided to give a safe space for pastors and leaders to have permission to feel, to sit in what bothers them, what's wrong with them, and understand that it's okay to feel those things. Because what I don't understand a lot of times is that we talk about God being the creator of who we are and don't realize that God has feelings just like we do, because he created us with those things. But just as he's aware of our feelings, we need to be aware of our feelings and be okay to talk about them. Be okay to say that this bothers me. Be okay to say that, okay, the finances are not where they need to be, you know, for the church, and that's bothering my mental health right now. It's okay to say that, why is the membership like it is right now? It bothers me. Or I'm trying to balance my own life along with the congregation and their issues, and I'm trying to figure out how to make that make sense. It's okay to say that it's a struggle. Because believe it or not, pastors and faith leaders are human beings just like anybody else. And they deal with stuff just like everybody else. And so there's this whole idea that we have to be, like you're talking about the perfectionist part, we have to come like we have it all together, right? But a lot of times, like I said this weekend, a leader's well-being, especially if you're a faith leader and you're a pastor, you not only got to consider how your well-being is for you, you got to think about how it's connected to everything to you. That could be your family, including your congregation. But if you, oops, I'm so sorry, I got spilled water. You got to understand that healthy leaders build healthy congregations. How can you be healthy, pastor, if you don't allow yourself to be aware of yourself and deal with what's going on with you and be honest and say, I'm angry. Be honest and say, this hurts. The way that member talked about me after everything I've done to extend myself in loving them and leading them, and they still decided to do what they did, that hurts. Don't act like when you go up there on Sundays that everything is good when you know you are hurting inside. Allow yourself that space to feel and to process it for what it is.
Oh, wow. I can imagine, because when you say that, you know, even with pastors, I just found out something that I did not know was true or know anything about it. I think I mentioned this to you before. It's called broken heart syndrome. That happens in more than one area.
All the time, because
and broken heart syndrome can really put you in the hospital.
It will. I know, for example, one of my mentees, you probably know her, Michelle Gant, who's over trauma release and advance. She talks about the story about what happened with her, the death of her son, how she went through broken heart syndrome. It's a real thing. It's a real thing, and I think what people don't realize is that whenever you experience a significant impact of loss or trauma or anything like that, the body keeps score. That pain has to go somewhere. And in our bodies, the way that they're created, we can hold stuff. We can hold feelings. We can hold anger. We can hold sadness. We can hold grief. We can hold hurt. And so if we choose to consciously not deal with it, it's got to go somewhere else. And a lot of times when life happens is when that stuff triggers up. So it can trigger up in heart disease. It can trigger up in broken heart syndrome you're talking about. It can come up in, like, you know, having joint issues or cancer. Or it shows up in so many different ways. But the fact of the matter is that when you're honest enough to say, you know what, something's not right, to deal with it. And it's okay to admit, you know, broken heart, I'm hurt, this hurt, I lost my child, that hurts. And I can relate to her because I've lost a child, so I understand that all that comes along with that can be impactful and hurt to a degree that if you don't know how to process it, the pain's got to go somewhere. So in cases like broken heart syndrome, that's exactly what happens.
I am learning so much because I think that there are so many things that I don't share. I do not share. And sometimes I think people think that I am hard as a rock, but I'm not.
No.
I may not show it on my face. But it's in here.
You may have the hard shell, but you got the soft center.
Thank you. I mean, it's mushy. And I'm so glad that we're talking about this today, ladies and gentlemen, because these are things that we all need to recognize. These are things that we all need to take heed to. Not only I, but you as well, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one
Right.
that holds it that way. I'm not the only one that feels as if sometimes it feels like it's directed at you.
Yeah, it hurts at times because me and my pastor had a conversation about this not too long ago, about something that happened being in ministry, especially being a leader. You try to do what's right to be available for the people to serve and make space. And then if something happens where they don't show up, even though you did what you're supposed to do, you know, you could take that personally and it could be hurtful. One of the things I realized is that for some months, because as you know, I do a lot, you know, in the mental health space and in the faith space, and you know, you found a way to say, okay, it is what it is. You keep going, you keep going, you keep going. But something happened not too long ago that made me realize I hadn't gotten over it yet. And I was like, okay, why am I still feeling like this? And so I had to take a moment and sit down and say, where is this pain coming from? And then I realized that I should not have taken it personal. It wasn't so much about what I did, because I did what I was supposed to do for them. It's just where the mindset of the people are. And so that made me say, okay, well then God, what's the strategy I need to do to approach this differently? And so then that's when he gave me the strategy to kind of do, you know, things in baby steps to learn how to build relationship and to handle it. Right. And so, but I realized that when I got hurt, I pulled back. And I kind of kept to myself.
That's me.
Not to try to be antisocial, but but then I realized that it's okay to create boundaries, but you got to be careful that those boundaries don't become so rigid that you're not willing to be flexible with it. Because you may be doing it to protect yourself, but somebody else may look at that being offensive or being antisocial, or you don't want to be bothered. Whereas you can say, you can still be approachable, but you just got to be mindful of how you do your boundaries. It can't be the same for every situation. And that was my lesson for me.
She's taught me something today. We got to go to break. When we come back, my. Don't forget now, if you missed the show today online, because they watch it online, that you will be able to catch the show this afternoon at 6 o'clock and get all this powerful information, because we all need it. We're talking with Dr. House, and she is really opening up the house right here, the floodgates for me today. Stay with us. We got more right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. We're strengthening poles to better withstand severe weather. We're clearing lines to improve resiliency, and we're constantly training teams to act at a moment's notice. Because we're always working, always preparing. So when storms do hit, you can count on us. FPL, working for you every single day.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
I'm Emily Echeverria, Marketing Communications Director for Council on Aging of West Florida and the host of Coming of Age. Watch our show to find out what we're doing for our seniors and their families, and hear from area experts and local business owners about their programs and services. Want to help? Find out how you can work with us to bring a better future to our seniors. Watch Coming of Age, 3:30 p.m. Wednesdays, only on Blab TV.
And welcome back to this Hump Day, this Wednesday edition of Sunshine's Corner. We have Dr. Tawana House in with us today, and we're talking about the struggles and understanding the pressures of ministry, the pressures that our pastors go through. And I was, as you were talking, I was thinking about this. How can the congregation recognize some of the struggles that the pastor may be dealing with, so that will tell us how to handle things?
Well, here's the interesting thing about that. There are some, what I'm grateful for is that those who are mature, who are in the faith long enough to see when something's wrong or they're actually concerned about someone. Well, one I always say is, number one, pray for your leaders.
Right.
My God, please pray for your leaders, because what they deal with spiritually and on top of what they do personally, emotionally, is much heavier than what everyone else in the congregation deals with, because they're thinking about the weight of what they're doing and covering the congregation spiritually.
I got you.
Praise number one. Number two, just really be empathetic and compassionate.
Right.
It's okay to, if you're looking at your pastor and maybe they're not like themselves like they normally are, it's okay to ask, hey,
you okay?
Pastor, you all right? Everything good? And if they're saying that they're fine, you say, be like, well, are you sure? I said, because I kind of observed some things lately and it's not like yourself.
Right.
And he's like, yeah. And they might say, well, yeah, I'm kind of dealing with some things. He's like, okay, well, listen, I'm praying for you, and however I can support you, let me know.
Wow.
So those are the same things you would want somebody else to do.
Right.
For you.
Right.
Do that for him.
Right.
Or do that for her as pastors and leaders. That's the same courtesy and concern that we show to everybody else. Show that to them.
Right.
And if you're willing to see it and you're able to, and here's what I'm going to say, don't see it and then ignore it. If you see it, there's a reason why you see it. Do something about it.
Right.
Just simply ask a question. And even if they may not necessarily need anything from you at that moment, the fact that you acknowledge them, the fact that you saw them and they were heard, has much more power than really anything in in other things, actions you can do. I think what people realize is that how powerful it is just to be acknowledged, and be seen.
Do you think some people are afraid just to walk up to their pastor and say something?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just people. I mean, we're people.
Yeah, exactly. I think really some of them are because, they don't want to appear to be disrespectful.
Right.
They don't want to appear to trying to pry. I will say in some cases, sometimes some people may not be so caught up in everything else they're doing, they might be able to see it at all, which sometimes that's a more or less self-awareness with ourselves that's lacking, to be able to see what's going on with someone else.
Right.
But the thing is that we are all family in the family of God.
Amen.
And all of us have things we're dealing with, and we're supposed to love thy neighbor even more as ourselves. That was the second commandment that Jesus gave us.
That's right.
With the first one being loving God with everything you have.
Everything you have.
So you got to just a pastor is your pastor, yes, and is a leader, but they're also your neighbor.
Amen.
So why don't you love them with the same love as you want love given to you?
Is it sometimes maybe I'm just being real today?
Yeah, please.
Do they? Let's say I'm talking from a congregational point. May feel as if they don't get the feeling to say that I feel even welcomed to talk to him, or him or her. I don't feel as if I know you're my leader.
Yes.
But I don't feel that I have that connection enough with you, even though I sit in this church every Sunday,
right,
every Wednesday, every Thursday, whatever the day may be, that I can talk to you because of the fact that sometimes it feels as if I'm just in the church.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. When we talk about shepherds and sheep, we know that sometimes sheep may not necessarily be at a place of level where a shepherd is, because the shepherd has to be watchful of what the sheep. But here's what's interesting. The sheep have a way of influencing with the shepherd as far as what the needs are.
Okay.
And I know that may not feel like they can talk to him because I'm just a number, or I'm just a member or whatever. But that's where I believe there has to be, seeking God for wisdom on how to approach it. And if for whatever reason, maybe you're not able to, if God says, well, just pray about it first. And you can do that. But I think we need to understand that okay, here we go. We need to stop putting our pastors and leaders on these pedestals to make it seem like they can't be touched.
Right.
Because the truth is,
But if that's what the congregation is feeling, how we got to get past that?
there has to be a communication for the pulpit on down.
Right.
So that's where, I won't be real about it. That's where authenticity and truth needs to come back to the pulpit, to not just be about the title, but to be about the person. That yes, I may be pastor so-and-so, bishop so-and-so, elder so-and-so, but I'm also, like for me, I'm just Tawana. Okay, and I'm going to be honest and say that I'm dealing with some things to be relatable to people and say, I'm dealing with some things and I know I need help right now. And if you see that there's something's going on, I'm letting you know, you can come to me. I'm okay with it, because if you're seeing it, I might not see what I need to see, but you do. Right. And that could be helpful to me. I think what people need to understand is that the pastor is not so far removed. Sometimes some pastors tend to be far removed from their congregations, that they don't make them feel like they can be approachable to them.
Right.
And some of that needs to change, because that means that your boundaries are becoming too rigid to where it might be hurtful to someone who might not be as mature or understanding of the things of God, but they truly genuinely love and they truly genuinely want to be able to show that.
Right.
And it's kind of like what the scripture talks about, all things are lawful, but not everything is expedient. That's because you have to understand that it may be lawful for you to be protective, but don't be so protected that you rob yourself of being able to connect with the people that you're supposed to lead.
You better say that again. Look, do you ever see me this quiet? No, you don't. I'm being educated today.
I'm just saying a little something.
No, you're saying a lot because it's true. There are things that I can say that I can relate to.
Well, yeah, because that's exactly what happens a lot of times. Now, I'm grateful that I think that there's a shift and a changing of the guards when it comes to pastors. Now a lot more younger pastors and leaders, and the old school thought for some of the older ones and the previous generation is starting to kind of shift over and is more welcoming to this kind of leadership. Because really, like my pastor says, he's a servant first.
Right. All of us.
All of us. Even though he may be leading, he also knows how to follow.
Right.
He knows how to humble himself.
Right.
And I think it's important that if your sheep come to you and your people come to you and they say, Pastor, this concerns me here, you need to be open to that. Don't be so far removed from it that you're not really in touch with the reality of what's going on with your people. Because if God's giving you that mandate or that assignment to cover them spiritually, you need to be in touch with the people that you lead. And if you don't put yourself in a place of approachability and being able to be open, to be compassionate and meet them where they are, how are you going to really be able to really effectively lead them? How are you going to be able to encourage them? And some of that also leads back to their own mental health as a leader and a pastor. Where are you? Are you broken so much that you can't be in touch with someone right now? You've emotionally disconnected because of what trauma you haven't healed from?
Right.
Those things, like I said, your well-being is impacting how you can lead and love on the people that God has given you assignment to.
Wow. Is she telling stuff that you're aware of? I am. But it's so, it is so powerful what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because I think that, this is me, does it with our leaders' health, and I'm talking about mental health as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And everybody has mental health. You need to get help. Everybody needs to talk to somebody.
Everybody, yeah.
As Johnny Gill said, everybody needs to do it, okay? But what I mean is, but does that, does that sometimes shape your congregation because of your mental health and your health issues?
It can. Because you know what? Whatever's on the head flows down.
Really?
Yeah, because I look at it this way. I always just come up with my pastor again, shout out to Dr. Norman L. Baker from Project Ministry Worship Center.
Right.
First of all, I'm grateful that he even opened up the doors of the church for me to have the event I had this past weekend for pastors and leaders to discuss and to give safe space to their mental health, because it let me know it was concerned for him too.
Right.
As a leader also. about where he was. He shared with me in confidence some things that he's been dealing with, and he asked me, he said, I need you to pray for me. So here I am, yes, I'm in leadership and I support him, but here's my senior leader asking me for prayer for him to deal with some things. And what made me realize with that is that I think people don't realize is that we are built and created for connection. That's how we're created. We have to be aware of our humanity as well as our divinity.
Exactly.
You can't focus so much on divinity and not address your humanity. Am I saying that you need to use humanity as an excuse to do whatever you want to do? No. But you need to be aware of it. You need to know what you're capable of. You need to know what, as they say, your proclivities are.
What are your proclivities?
Proclivities are. What's that? That means your hang-ups, that means your shortcomings, your sins, all that stuff.
Of course.
So you need to know what your issues are enough to say, you know what, I know I'm capable of. Let me just set these parameters for myself to make sure things are in order.
When you're talking about setting boundaries.
Yeah.
And you said some boundaries you don't set as firm as you do others.
Yes.
Okay. But you also, and I'm giving a recap of what I've just gathered. What you should do is walk away from the situation, breathe for a moment, then contact and talk.
Yes.
This is how that made me feel.
Yes.
Or why is it that's making me feel this way?
Right.
And not being to hold back. So this means that even for you, Pastor, because I could imagine, even with the things that I've dealt with, even in the business world.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I mean for years, there are things that I have learned.
Yes.
And learning yet how to apply. I've got to learn how to be more tactful.
Okay.
In setting boundaries.
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
I tell you what, I want you to hold on to that.
Okay.
Answer that when we come back.
Yes, ma'am.
To be tactful and to set those boundaries. I believe in growth. And I want her to talk about that too, because I know pastors, you know that in your congregation, you believe in growth. But how can you institute that? Setting boundaries, knowing your limits, and still grow. We're coming back with more with Dr. House right here on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
Are you looking for local and regional sports highlights and insights?
Join us for the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz every Saturday morning at 9 Central for a wrap-up of high school games and upcoming college matchups.
Plus interviews this fall with high school coaches and college insiders.
Join us right here live every Saturday at 9 a.m. on Blab TV for the Saturday Morning Sports Blitz.
We'll see you then.
So you've got to come join us November 12th and 13th at the Pensacola Little Theater for this year's EntreCon. And our theme is Embracing Collective Growth. It's a great opportunity for everybody to come together, whether you're a business leader, a business owner, or new to the working world, there's something for everyone. And we've got some great speakers coming from all over. You'll walk away with some great lessons learned and some great connections that you've made with others. So please come join us in November, the 12th and 13th, Pensacola Little Theater for EntreCon.
The Emerald Coast Utilities Authority state-of-the-art materials recycling facility processes recyclables for communities throughout the region, lowering need for more landfills. This highly efficient recycling service accepts glass, paper, cardboard, plastics, aluminum, and more. But we need your help. Please make sure your recyclables are clean of garbage, food, and liquids. Also, please remember that plastic shopping bags, foam products, or yard waste are not recyclable. To learn more, go to livegreenecua.com.
And welcome back to this Wednesday edition of This is Dr. House Show today, okay? We're talking about how is it that understand the pressures of ministry.
Yeah.
And when you understand the pressures of ministry, that's also a part of life.
Yes.
Those are the things that it's not going to skip over you and give you something different because you're in the ministry.
Nope.
Because life is life.
Life be life. And
Life be life, and I mean, and I get that from the younger people. I'm lifing, and the fact that we do the things that we need to do, and I say that because we were talking offset,
Yes, ma'am.
and you were about to answer a question.
Yes.
I mean, I want you to go as deep. You said this is getting gooder and deeper, but let's talk about the issues that we were talking about as far as with how to set the boundaries.
Okay.
And how to not hold things in and blow, to take it to another level,
Right.
even though you think higher.
Yeah. This is where self-awareness comes in.
Okay.
It's not easy to practice self-awareness. It's a beginning to start learning how to take a moment and pull the lever on the brake of your feelings, saying, whoa, I can't have you in control right now.
My feelings.
My feelings. Because here's the thing, your thoughts and your decisions and your actions are all connected, right?
Right.
Everything starts with a
Right
thought.
there.
Then it leads to whatever decision you make, and then it leads to whatever action. Now, your thoughts can be influenced by either how you feel or how you logically think. So whatever's the driving force is going to determine how you think, and from there it's going to determine what you decide, the choice you make. Then it's going to determine what actions you take. You think about some people that have ended up being incarcerated and in prison because they chose to handle what would have been a temporary situation with something permanent.
Right.
All right.
I was listening to that show. I was listening to Charlemagne the God the other day. He was talking about a young man, 20 years old.
Yes.
Worked at Taco Bell. Got mad at the manager. Came back with a gun. Made a decision because he made him mad. Killed him. That's going to affect him for the rest of his life.
And so in that situation, what if that 20-year-old was given some different tools on how to deal with whatever anger or hatred or feelings of negativity that pushed him to that limit to say that this is the only way that this situation can be solved.
Right.
So I say that to say, when it comes to creating boundaries, you have to be aware with yourself to say, you know what, I do get angry. Okay, I do get mad. Oh, what you did make me upset. Okay, but hold up, before I react, let me think about, do I need to react to this or do I need to respond to this? That's the beginning of self-awareness. Because when you hold things in, Sonshine, like you were talking about, there's going to be more of a potential to react to something. And when you react to something, more damage can be caused after the fact that you have to try to clean up or repair versus, especially in relationships, but whereas when you respond to it and say, okay, you have to think about it before you respond. It's like a test. When you're in school and you're taking an exam, you have to think about what the question is asking before you actually make your proper response. That's the same way that you got to be when you're creating these boundaries for yourself. Okay, in order for me to respond properly for this, rather than react in this moment right now, let me take a breather, breathe in, breathe out, do some box breathing for about a few seconds, and say, you know what? I said, it might be best for me not to say anything right now.
Right.
I said, I know I could tell you off right now, probably curse you out and have to repent later. But I know that's not going to help me in this situation. So I'm going to let you have that for the moment, and I'm going to walk away. Some people will say, like, well, you should have given me a piece of your mind. I say, yeah, but as they say, you lose a little bit of yours when you do that. And so I never heard that. You lose a little bit of yours when you give
a piece of your mind.
Yeah, if you want to keep your peace of mind, you want to keep it. That means don't be telling people off all the time and think you're going to have your mind left. You're going to have a half a mind or a quarter of a mind left if you do that. Okay. Listen, I'm talking about what I'm talking about, right? Because I've been there. So it's in those situations, because it's happened to me, I will just calm down and say, okay, I'm gonna let you have that, and then I'm just gonna let myself process this. And then when the opportunity comes, I'll come back and say, you know what? when you did this, this is how they made me feel. Now, there's two things that can go. If they're good-hearted people, they'll be like, you know what, I didn't know, I didn't realize, I apologize, that was not my intent, right? Others, they'll be like, well, that's just the way I am. I said, well, okay, if that's the way you are, then I'm going to create this boundary basically like, okay, I'm just going to keep you right here. You can't be that close. Well, I can't be that close because what you've shown me in your actions tells me I can't trust you in my safe space. So therefore, I'm going to create this boundary for you to protect myself so that I don't find myself constantly being beat up by how you treat me and letting it affect me.
Exactly.
Because
then they got control to a point.
Right.
With you.
Right. But see, family, like we talked about it once before, just because they're family and you love them, you don't have to accept how they treat you. So that's the same thing with those boundaries. Now, also, pastors and leaders, and for everybody, you also got to be mindful that you can't be so rigid with your boundaries that it might set offense to somebody else, like I had to learn in ministry. I know I had to be protective of myself. I usually be to myself anyways, but don't do it at the risk that you're not approachable to other people. So you have to learn that some rigid boundaries are appropriate in certain circles,
right?
But not everything.
Are you being educated as much as I am today?
Look, I was talking about I had to learn. Listen, okay, this camera. I had to learn this recently this week, the last week. I just had to learn this. So I'm not saying anything that hadn't happened to me that I had to learn from. I'm only sharing it with other people because I want them to benefit from the experience. I believe in passing it on. And so if that helps, and plus also, we were talking about holding things in, it's not healthy to do that because believe me, your body's going to tell you that you don't need to be holding stuff in. It's not healthy. And plus people don't want to be bothered with you for the rest of the day because they know that you're still fuming and steaming on whatever happened at 10 o'clock. Here it is about 7 p.m. You're about to go to bed. Why are you still fuming and steaming on that? They're like, okay, we're going to leave her alone for the rest of the day because she ain't there yet. Yeah, then nobody want to be around her. Now you don't want that.
Right.
Come on now.
Come on, people. Are we being educated? Yeah. I mean, it is so good. And I think, and I gotta say, I know that God orchestrated this the way He wanted it to.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of the fact that the answers and the things that you're touching, and let's be real, you run into things every single day that affects you as well.
Every
but
day.
we've got to be able to acknowledge the fact that yes, I have that issue, or I need to get this corrected, or teach me how to handle this.
Right, and that's the thing that I teach even with my mental health coaching services and what I do. There's something called the Wellness Recovery Action Plan that started with Mary Ellen Copeland back in 1992. It became an evidence-based model through SAMHSA in 1997, and it's a phenomenon that has gone across all over the world. I happen to be an advanced level facilitator in that area,
right?
Amongst 2,000 others internationally.
Come on.
And the whole point of the plan is basically about holding each other in unconditional high regard, but also knowing that there's no limits to recovery. Recovery is possible.
When you say holding each other in unlimited high regard.
Unconditional high regard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that basically means this. Even the Word of God says this. You're supposed to be able to esteem others as you want them to esteem you. You know, you're always supposed to put the feelings of or the concerns of others before yourself. Doesn't mean you neglect yourself. It's just that you're being mindful of yourself enough to respect others just as you want you to be respected. And so the same thing with this plan is basically it talks about 5 concepts, and that's hope, personal responsibility, education, self-advocacy, and you're speaking up for yourself, and support.
I ain't got that problem.
Okay, well, look. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we know this, right? Okay. I love her. I love her too. But the thing that we're talking about stressing today is the concept of personal responsibility. Self-awareness and knowing how to process your feelings and relating to others and how you take care of yourself. That's your responsibility. Wow. Don't be thinking like, well, I'll change when things change with them. No, sweetheart, it starts the other way around. You got to be able to change what's in you, be the change that you want to see so that things adjust around you to be that change. Because otherwise, you're going to be stuck right there. And that's one of the things I also share is that there's a difference between significant change happening and you remaining stuck in a place and being better about it, or making the choice to be intentional and allow that change to transform you. There's a quote that right now has changed my life. Change is constant. Change is constant. Transformation is intentional.
Oh, I love it.
Transformation is intentional. So it could be changing things all the time. But what I do with that change is the choice to allow it to transform me to become something better than I could ever been. That butterfly knows that because it took a caterpillar to make a transformational choice, to be intentional, to go in that cocoon, to become what it is.
Oh my God. Well, I can say now that we are on live everything now. Okay, because we were having a few technical difficulties, but we're back.
Hi.
And I mean, it's so good because I'm getting so much from this conversation.
Yes.
And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, let me apologize. I mean, I apologize. You know, things do happen.
Yes.
And things that are out of our control.
Yes.
But God has a plan.
Always.
He has a plan for you
Always.
too. And all we
Always.
got to do is trust Him in the midst of it.
Yes.
When we are going through situations like this, Dr. House,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
mean, even with this, can you, okay, with churches,
Yes.
a few ways churches can create culture
I like how you're going with this, okay.
that encourages transparency and self-care among their leadership. How can we get that? Because and I'm going to be real, there have been some instances where I felt that, okay, why I don't feel like I'm, that person is reachable.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
that I can have a conversation.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent. I seek to have that so badly that I could have a spiritual leader
Yeah.
that I could call
Yeah, yes,
or
ma'am.
set up a time
I hear
that
you.
I can talk to
Yes.
about the things that I deal with spiritually,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
but I don't feel like I have that.
You know, this is why I stress that pastors also need someone to be accountable to, that they need a covering as well. Even I, as a leader, I have a pastor. I also have a bishop as well.
Right.
They hold me in accountability. They know how to love me in a way that when they correct me, it is out of love, and it's really truly to see me grow.
Right.
You were just asking about how can pastors may have growth in their minds of how to grow their congregations. Well, pastor, your congregation is only a reflection of who you are.
That's what I mean.
That's a reflection. So what that means is that the pastor and maybe those the covering that they have to have those hard conversations of saying, you're not presenting yourself to be an approachable person. Why do you feel you need to be so protective that you're robbing yourself of the opportunities to connect with the people? Jesus knew how to connect. Did he have his 12 disciples? Yes. But he still remained approachable to people.
Yes, he was.
So the example has already been laid out.
That's what I want to talk about. We got to go take a break, but I'm
Yes.
saying because I believe that would really be a source of help for me.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that what I'll tend to do is, which is good, I'll pick up my Bible.
Yeah.
I will search things on the internet, come back to my Bible to get the answers. I was doing that yesterday for some things that I'm dealing with. But ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Dr. Tawana House today with the situation of understanding the pressures of ministry. Mental health, it exists there too. We're going to talk more. And please be a part of the conversation at 850-432-7768. We'll be back with more on Sunshine's Corner.
My name's Kelly McLeod. I'm the owner of Bella Magazine. Bella is a source of uplifting and inspiring content for the women of Pensacola.
I think the magazine is just so thoughtfully done. There's a lot of attention to detail. The stories are really good.
You've got seriousness, you've got fun, education, fashion. It just encompasses everything.
Women are multidimensional, and so is Bella.
From the efficiency of American natural gas and the dependability of nuclear power, to the strength of Florida's sunshine and the flexibility of advanced battery storage systems, we leverage a diverse mix of energy sources to power our growing state, ensuring reliable, low-cost power for your home or business whenever you need it. FPL, working for you every single day.
Adventure, fun, and connections is all right here in your backyard with Pensacola Parks and Recreation.
Bike the trails and feel the rush. Come to our senior program for ages 50 and older. Learn new skills and make new friends. Tee up at Osceola Golf Course and paddle into nature with Bayview Outdoor Pursuits. Pensacola Parks and Recreation. Discover more, play more, live more.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
Lies. And welcome back to this Wednesday edition of Sunshine's Corner. We have Dr. Tawana House on with us today. We're talking about mental health in the ministry with our leaders. And there's the graphic what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You need to meet your coach, because she's coaching me today. She does not realize that she's going to get a phone call from me. I'm saying, what time can I come in for my session?
Come on.
Because I know what I need.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there's so much on the inside, but there are ways that you can, to find out that you can, and then you can trust that person, that your business not going out over the street. That's what I'm talking about.
Amen.
And and we want people to understand that you can talk to people, you can talk and help, because we all need help. And I'm at that point in my life,
yes, ma'am,
that I've held so much for so many years. I bet you that pot gonna go pow. You talk about a pressure cooker.
Oh gosh. And they'd be like, get out the way.
Get out the way, it's about to explode. You think a volcano erupts.
Oh, okay.
But no, when we think about these things, when people are there and they're seeking help,
yeah,
and then they are in a congregation.
Yes.
And please, pastors, I'm just telling you what I sit there and what I see.
Yes, ma'am.
The minute the sermon is over, you're gone.
You're gone. Yeah.
Supposing I'm waiting, I want to talk to you. I got to go through this person. And I'm not saying, because I know that you got to have a life too. Don't misunderstand me. But there's sometimes I think that when a person needs you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could be time set aside that I don't have to go through 10 people to get to you.
Right. Here's the thing that that comes to me is that, Pastor, the reason why you even exist is because of the people that you're serving.
Right.
And you're supposed to be leading in love. Once you get lose sight of that, you're in trouble.
Okay.
Because then it starts becoming more about you and not about them.
Exactly.
And not about the assignment that God's given you. I have learned from my experience, even pastoring myself for 13 years and all of that, well, almost 15 years, that the reason why I'm in this role is not that I'm better than anybody else, not that I'm exempt from the issues of anybody else, but because I'm here to lead in love, and that I'm willing to sacrifice and live a life of sacrifice and obedience to God to be present for the people that He's given to me. Does that mean I have to live a life different from everyone else? Yes, because I can't carry on like I do with everyone else's average or what have you. But I realize, and this is why I was telling the clergy during the event this past weekend, your well-being is so important.
Got to be.
Because if you're not in a place of stability emotionally, mentally, in that way, then you're going to find yourself with the congregations, you're not going to be in a place to be able to help them where they are. Because how can you lead them to a place of freedom when you haven't created that same freedom of space for yourself?
Come on. I can't. Can you believe this hour's up?
I can't. Well, you know,
we've been talking such good stuff. Listen, but I want to remind everybody that clergy, whomever you may be,
yes,
we all need help.
Yes,
we all need to talk to somebody.
Yes,
because if we need that help to get that out, because there's so many things, even with the cares of the entire world today.
Yes, and I want to say this again. Let me see. Let me get this camera here.
Right.
Pastors, leaders, clergy, everyone that's hearing me and looking at me right now, I want you to understand that it's okay to be human. Give yourself permission to feel. Please, you need to be able to be in the place to not be so far removed from the ones that you are called to lead and to love. It is okay to give that space for them to be approachable. Fellowship with those that you are leading. You need to know who they are. You need to know where they are so that you can effectively pray for them, minister to them, because that's the assignment God's called on your life. And you have a responsibility to be obedient to Him. And that includes not only being available to Him, but available to them.
Amen. Oh, she preached then. Lord have mercy. But I mean, Dr. House, it has been a, rewarding show, not only for our viewers, but for me as well.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for coming in. I want people to realize that there is help, but be willing to accept the help.
Yeah, accept it.
You got to accept the help. Like she said, change.
Change is constant, transformation's intentional.
There you go. Change is constant, transformation is intentional. Thank you for bringing all this powerhouse up in here today.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you.
it.
I appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, when we need help, don't be afraid to ask for help, because it's okay. There's something this young man, he wrote a book, he said it's okay not to be okay. And I think that's a fact that I like it. I'm going to be using transparency. The change is constant, but transparency is intentional. And I love that as well. This show will come back this afternoon. We kicked off with a few technical difficulties, but we thank God. To God be all the glory. He got all of that fixed. And you'll be able to watch this show this afternoon at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Watch this show this afternoon at 6 o'clock and get all the information that I've gotten today. I've got to go, but I want to tell you something. Be intentional. Yes. Change is constant.
Transformation's intentional.
But transformation is intentional. Be transformed. Leaving you as I do every day, my dear friends, and I mean this from my heart. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Never lose your focus. Always remember, if you keep God first, and I believe that with everything on the inside of me, that you're going to be a total success, even mentally. So until tomorrow for another day of sunshine and information, know that I do love you with a perfect kind of love. And go out and find, and to tell somebody and mean it. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Pastors, it's okay. So until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Have a great day.
Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.